Also developing today, a major blow in the relationship with Pakistan. Despite personal pleas from CIA Director Leon Panetta, those 5 Pakistani military officials remain in jail today, arrested for helping the CIA target Osama bin Laden. The chairman of the Intelligence Committee, Congressman Mike Rogers, now joins us. Congressman, thanks so very much. First of all, the arrest of these informants, payback for the raid. How does this happen? Americans are spending billions of dollars on Pakistan. Here in the United States, the raid on Osama bin Laden is viewed as a victory. Instead, on the Pakistani side, they view it as a humiliation.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Andrea, and I was in Pakistan last week and met with Kiani, General Kiani, the leader of the military there, and General Pasha, who heads up their intelligence service. And I've been traveling there for 6 years on a whole host of issues in the tribal areas and all over that country. I came away as pessimistic as I have ever been about where our relationship is and where it's going. We had some very, very candid conversations about a whole host of issues, some of which you talked about and some that have not been mentioned, about how we need to work out some very difficult problems. And they had 2 ways to go, Andrea, after the Osama bin Laden raid. They could have either said, listen, this is a horrible, embarrassing moment for us. We understand why you couldn't trust us with that information, given what we just found out on the IED factories that were disclosed after we gave them that information. Let's go forward, more transparent. We'll work more closely with you. We'll make your life easier here to go and catch bad guys. And unfortunately, none of that has happened. And so what you see is really, this is an army that has a country. It's not a country that has an army. And it's run by the Army and the intelligence service, and they are frustrated by the UBL raid, and they are taking it out on U.S. interests right now. And I think it is doing incredible harm to our relationship and how we move forward.
Well, let me just share with you another statement that I just got from a U.S. official, which refers specifically to these IED factories, the factories that make the bombs that then get exported to Afghanistan and blow up our troops. Now, Leon Panetta, the CIA, clearly showed the Pakistanis evidence, satellite imagery, showing these IED factories. They then went and raided the factories, the Pakistanis, and they'd been tipped off, obviously by the Pakistanis, by the Pakistani spy service. Tipped them off, and there was no one there. Your comment on that?
Well, again, I traveled there last week to have a very candid, very tough conversation with Mr. Kiani and Mr. Pasha. And you can imagine the host of issues we talked about. And I can tell you that the relationship is strained because of issues, much like you have talked about, and how we don't feel that there is a full 100% cooperation on issues. And I don't think Pakistan will change until they realize that there is no such thing as a good terrorist. I don't care if you find him in the tribal areas, Lahore, Karachi, or Islamabad. There is no such thing, and they've got to pry themselves away. And the cultural and the institutional ties to Al-Qaeda and to tribal leaders who are not friendly, to even the government of Pakistan, let alone the United States. They coddle terrorists in some areas, and we have got to convince them to either sever these relationships, or our relationship will fundamentally change to a place that neither of us are going to like as we move forward. And you know, I've been trying to work. This is an important relationship. We have to find people that we can cooperate with, but we can't do it under the circumstances that risks the lives of our soldiers as we move forward.
There are reports that the Pentagon penalized them for $300 million after they tipped off the IED bomb makers. Should we start thinking about a broader cutback in aid?
Well, I think we have to have benchmarks, Andrea. I think we have to lay out some clear benchmarks that, yes, we're still willing to help you if we can clearly see how this money is helping you and it's helping us. And we have some efforts that help both countries. A strong Taliban in Pakistan is harmful to the government of Pakistan. Al-Qaeda is not good for the government of Pakistan. It's destabilizing. So what we think we must do is lay out some benchmarks, and that's what I'm looking at doing even as early as next week, to lay out some benchmarks to say these are the things we have to meet if we're going to continue a relationship. And by the way, some of the things you're doing, you have to unwind, and we need to reset this button, and we need to reset it soon. It's causing real harm to our relationship.
And before I let you go, there's a real showdown brewing. The Speaker has written to the President saying, you know, you've got to show us what is going on in Libya before we extend, because your time has run out under the War Powers Act. Is this going to reach a critical phase this week?
I think it is. And Andrea, I have to tell you, it's just boggles the mind why the president has been so absent on this issue. Congress has said, come talk to us, give us the information that we need, sell the American public and Congress on what we're doing in Libya and what your mission set is. He hasn't done it. I'm on the intelligence community. I think we have intelligence and national security equities there. I'm not sure what our mission is there. We can't have that. And so if he's not willing to do it, I think he's going to buy himself a whole bunch of trouble that he doesn't need. He needs to lead on this, and I think that's one of the things he's reluctant in doing. But he needs to step up front and sell the American people and this Congress what he's doing in Libya and why he's doing it. I think he'll find friends if he's honest with the American people. I really don't understand what they're doing and the absolute absence on this issue. And when you're sending troops into combat in any way, we don't have troops on the ground there, but we are engaged in other assistance to the NATO forces there, then you better convince the Americans and bring them with you. You can't do this alone.
Mike Rogers, Chair of the House Intelligence Committee, thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew.